5, 4,
Four,
3,
2,
1. Juice!
It's like we're lunching it.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that.
It didn't sound secret at all for me, but oh well, we'll see how it goes.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Welcome everyone to the second episode of the podcast about 1776.
Yep.
Yeah, we're back.
So-
Episode 2.
The one comment on that? I missed the 7.
Wait, did you?
Oh.
Oh my god. There's too many 7s.
I was planning to go on this whole thing about how 1776 was the year of the
yeah.
American Revolution.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Oh, I
so
didn't
that's
know
the thing.
that.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
But then you
Cool.
ruined it by not even noticing that
I did. I'm tired, okay? I just worked. It's late.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, we're back for episode 2.
I'm Maple.
I'm Pigeon.
And I'm Rain.
And today we're going to be talking about chapter 2
Yeah.
of 17776, which is outside Seward, Nebraska. And then if we have time, we're hopefully going to talk about chapter 3 as well,
Yeah.
which is the
Yeah.
first video chapter. So I guess we can get right into it then.
Tornado.
A lot
Yes,
of tornadoes.
The first
only
time I
one,
read this,
I
I
guess.
was...
And a storm. I like this image. Oh, I just realized that this is the footage taken from inside of the car.
Yeah, I
You
think
can
it
actually
is.
see the wipe.
Oh, I can see the windshield wiper there.
Yeah.
At the first time I read this, none of the pictures loaded, so I scrolled through all the text, and then I scrolled back up, and then all of this loaded in, so I missed out on a lot of it. So I'm glad I went back to read it again, because I didn't realize that there was actually more going on. I was very confused up until that point.
Yeah, I think the first time that I read it, I kind of passed some things because I was a bit lost about all this football stuff.
Yeah, I
It's a
was...
bit confusing.
I don't know anything about football, but
Neither. So.
when they like, I know that like end zones and whatever, but they're talking about like Wyoming and Iowa being
Yeah.
the end zones, which I was
Oh,
yeah.
It's 2 states actually, so.
I actually figured it out basically instantly. I mean,
It was-
just, having 2 states as the goals. Like a huge scale football game.
Yeah.
I just
But I think the most surprising is that so Nancy is going in the tornado, so won't she
Yeah,
die?
But
Yeah,
a lot of
I-
things they say here are it's fairly confusing.
But I guess it kind of, if we're thinking about the probes watching this right now, that's
Yeah.
probably how 9 is feeling about a lot of stuff, because
Yeah.
they don't have any idea what's going on. This is all new, so it's kind of the same way that we're looking at it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're tied 24-24. I really like the parallel between like these people chasing the game and like people in real life that chase storms.
Yeah, that's basically exactly the same thing.
Yeah, they just kind of happen to coincide at this point, I guess. It sounds like these characters here have been driving around following this game for 8.5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so 24-24, I assume that they only need to score 1 more point and then the game ends?
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah,
point.
they say that next point wins, I think, which I find interesting because I wonder if that would have been something that they agreed upon before they started the game, because we find out later on that lots of these games go on for decades potentially.
Yeah.
So how do
think-
you figure out when they're over?
I think this is basically one of the most normal games they play, actually. Like
This
is
one is for sure.
This is just kind of the Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
except it's played every 10 years or
It's
something.
like there's.
Yeah.
It looks like there's an end to it.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
score
there's some
thing.
sort of
Because when you go scroll down quite a bit, you eventually see Nancy's play card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you notice that she... Oh wait, no. I thought at first that these were all individual games every year, but these are not. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was looking at that card, and I find it kind of... First of all, I did the math on... She was helping run her daughter's store for 1,700 years or so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a long time to be doing that. But in that gap there, where she wasn't playing, you can see like her touchdowns were like 35, 7, 34 at the beginning there, but then afterwards it's like 0 and 1, and all of a sudden the number of yards that she's been running are way more. So I guess in those few years there, those 1700 years is when everything really changed and they started getting a lot crazier, because you can see that in the numbers. I'm glad that we've got all these animations here to kind of show us what's going on. That makes it a lot easier to
I was kind of impressed the first time, so I was like, whoa, how did he do that?
Lots of Google Maps work, that's for sure. It's crazy.
I mean, he uses Google Earth a lot for his videos as well, so
yeah, I was just
he definitely
watching
had a lot of
actually.
experience.
For sure. So we learned a little bit about Nancy. She's running right towards the tornado.
Yeah.
Which again was something I was very confused about. But apparently it's been done before, because one of them mentions that I've seen this happen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's surprising.
But especially at this point, you just don't know that all these characters are immortal and invincible.
Right. And we didn't know about nanos yet.
Yeah, so, we didn't. Yeah.
I honestly didn't even read the scorecard correctly, because I just thought, like, okay, there's 1 year that she was helping her daughter at the store, and then, like, I thought these were just. I didn't even realize that this was saying 16,016 and then 17,760.
It's a long time off.
Yeah. So if I had noticed that back when I first read it, I think I would have been less confused, maybe. Maybe I would have realized that these characters were immortal.
That's so much time. Yeah, did they
They say
they didn't mention that. I think they mentioned that already.
I think 10 mentioned that they stopped aging.
They mentioned that in the video.
Is it the video?
Chapter
okay.
3.
Oh, I think you're right, because the first chapter is just all the calendar stuff.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay, yeah.
So at this point, I just thought these were just, hundreds of generations in.
Of people, yeah, it's so weird to see a year with that many digits in it. I still have no idea how I would pronounce that, if that was actually where we were. I want to talk about the police officer, actually, because I know that was a lot of debate at some point, talking about, if we're in this future where everything's great, why do we need police officers? But it's kind of good to know that life is still kind of normal so far in the future, and you're still going to get pulled over if you try to drive into a tornado. She's only about 117,000 yards from the goal line. How is she running so far?
Well, she's running 20 miles an hour, or 30 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
And that's, I googled that. Usain Bolt can run 27 miles per hour. 27. So that's like really fast.
Yeah,
how much do they allow human prosthetics or whatever?
Oh, maybe.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. More than that, robotics. I think. Yeah. But so is she, like, are people in general just like way more physically fit? Because she's been running for like a long distance and not stopping. So I don't know how you do that without like having to stop and rest.
The sure must be long to play such a game.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if that's part of the immortality thing we learn about later. If people are just almost superhuman now and run for these crazy long distances. So then we get to... they start talking about their... EF5 with the tornado.
Yeah.
Which
EF5? Okay, now you're way ahead of me.
Oh, am I? I think I scrolled past the card.
I think you scrolled past the... there are like 3 images before the cards and stuff.
Yeah. All of these...
Okay,
all these like,
EF5
football
is like
diagrams.
The strongest tornado. Well,
it
in
is,
the scale.
yeah. I think the scale that they're talking about... an EF5 can throw cars like over a mile or something.
It's pretty neat. If you look at the enhanced Fujita scale on Wikipedia, you see this list of
that's what I'm looking at.
And you can actually see the pictures
you can destroy
a building.
Houses, entire houses, and
jeez. Oh man, I'm glad I don't live somewhere where we get tornadoes.
EF5 is literally just you can see there used to be a house there. It's no longer there.
Yeah. It's just gone. Well,
It just
they
flew away.
This is all the
mentioned
work of one tornado.
they mentioned here, I think, actually in the comic, they're like, oh, that's an EF5, and they're like, look at that, there's a house actually flying around in the tornado.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, how does Nancy know she's going to get thrown out of the tornado? Like, what if she just got stuck in there
She
for a
can't
long
really
time?
know, actually.
The tornado will dissipate eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, but she could be stuck in it until then. And
That's
it could just
true.
be forever.
I don't think so. I mean, you keep going faster and faster, eventually just break loose.
I guess
Right?
so. You would hope.
Well, maybe she's done a tornado play before. Well, this has happened before, so...
Because it seems to be something pretty normal.
Well, not normal, perhaps.
Well,
Normal
say,
in heavy
usual.
quotes, right?
I mean, anything is normal if you have 70,000 years to do them.
That's true. But people are still arguing about their trucks, I guess, because they start talking about that all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's 40. He bought it 40 years ago.
The truck is, if it's almost 6,000 years old. It's like 5,600 years old. If it's
like
a
that.
12,080, that's an old car.
No, that's the brand probably, or I don't even know.
Silverado is, yeah. That's a model of truck, but I think the number there is supposed to be the year. It's 1,000 years.
Just a year.
Seems to.
But you can fit a big pop into the cup holder, so that's important.
Yeah. Oh my god, that part.
It's like a
love-
soda pop, right?
Yeah. I love how realistic this dialogue feels, because this is a conversation I would have with my friends about my car. Like,
Yeah.
It can totally happen.
It's a really good. Just the visuals too. I talked about that last episode. I think about how natural it feels. It's good.
Yeah, the visuals are really great. They're talking about an 800-ounce chugalock or whatever.
Wow.
800 ounce, 22 kilograms.
I think that's fluid ounces.
Okay, that might be different. I don't even know.
How many milliliters? How many liters is that? That's 23 liters. Wait.
23. That's the same
20.
thing.
Oh, that's too much liquid.
Yeah, I have no idea why you would chug around that much liquid.
No, you should see. I believe I have purchased a pop that has been at least 2 liters, so I can see it being a thing. But I do think that was just a joke.
Yeah.
Everything just getting bigger and better, right?
Right. Yeah, it's very American. So 6,000 people watching now, and they give us the little rerun on what's going on. 25 miles into a run. That's so far. How?
It's kind of funny. They basically explain what happens here 3 times in this chapter. At the start, here, and fairly near the end.
I think how it looks to me is they're broadcasting it. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems to be
That's
on
the point.
TV, because
I guess so.
at the moment they're saying, don't point the camera at me, but at the tornado.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might just be using a streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm assuming, is Twitch still around in 17,776? Do you think?
Why not?
Amazon
Why not?
still.
It is always Twitch plays.
Exactly. Oh god. Oh, can you imagine what Twitch plays would be like this far in the future?
Twitch plays
what would
football.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
There's an idea for garbage football. We should send that to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love
It
it.
can be a big thing.
Exactly.
And
then
maybe there will be
here's-
a real Twitch plays football.
Jeez. They're controlling robots or
Yeah.
something out in the field. Oh my god. Yeah, I would watch that. I would play that. One of the best running backs in the... She's up in the twister now. And then the one guy just starts talking to his parents on the phone. Tell them to put on my channel right now. Put on my channel. I just posted it. Look it up. I gotta go. It's 400 feet in the air. I really wish we could be seeing this right now. I want someone to draw this. And then the probes are back.
Yeah.
Wait, stop.
What is going
what is
on?
this?
What is going on? This is not
It's kind of
football. I have no
relatable.
idea. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
exactly how I was feeling at this point, right? Because I've been to a football game, I think, and there wasn't a tornado or anything. So I was pretty confused.
I was buying into the idea of just a stage big football game pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just,
that makes sense, because I can see that even being something that you could do like now, provided you have people that can run long distances.
Yeah.
But the tornado thing really tripped me up. I'm like, how is she gonna survive that? Because at this point,
I
we
thought
don't
she
have an answer to
died.
that. Yeah,
Same.
I just thought, you just kill yourself? At this point, I was
They
thinking
said
more of like a dystopian future,
Yeah.
where
right.
people just have to play football or something like that.
Or
They don't
else,
have better
And,
thing.
and if you don't win this game, then you'll
That's it.
just
Yeah.
get terminated or something.
that's how we judge how good people are and how worthy they are, is by
Yeah.
how good they are at football. I would not be around for very long if that's how they were judging people. Well, I could win at Twitch Plays Football. I'd be pretty good at that. But
Yeah, that should be
not
okay.
if I have to. Exactly. Someone make that. But so
real
yeah,
ones
we're
with
down.
health.
Should we move
Shall
on to
we,
chapter 3 then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
let's
think.
watch the video.
Yes. The first, well, not the first, well, I guess the first chapter that's
What is this?
completely a video. What is this? Have you guys ever watched that History of Japan video on YouTube?
Yeah. I've watched all.
These
I watched a lot of
videos, these
You realize
videos
he
really
made
remind me of
the
them.
history of the entire world, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, that one was really good.
That one's really good.
The text in these videos, like the thumbnails for these videos, remind me of his for some reason. I think
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
the text on the black background.
Generally, the visuals of this whole webcomic reminds me of Bill Wood's.
Definitely.
It has this specific aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Mind if I change the clicker? I know you like that.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, it's definitely not actually a clicker. You know, they're just
Yeah.
how are
Well,
but
maybe
how
it
are they?
clicks.
How are they getting like visuals of Earth? Is what I want to know, because they're so far away, and I don't think they have
At
the
first
equipment to do that.
At first, I thought that somehow Juice was at least still in the solar system and looking at this,
Yeah.
but I think later it was suggested that Juice had escaped. So,
But later everyone could use could change the channel, if I can say so.
Yeah.
yeah, I also thought it was just Juice, but then
But it's
Nine
true
was
that
also able
usually
to do
it's
it.
just doing
Everyone's
it.
able to.
So I'm not sure. I also considered maybe it's Hubble, but
Yeah.
you know,
But he
Hubble
appears
seemed
pretty
pretty
late.
disinterested.
I think they just have access to the satellites that are currently in the air that aren't
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
conscious yet.
But actually
Especially
the
if-
props don't
yeah.
have any images, like they just have the sound. No. As they are receiving all the informations from
Oh, they're just
radio
listening,
waves.
I
That's
guess.
true. That and Google Earth data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those satellites, they have to keep up the satellites, right?
Yeah.
To get new maps and stuff, or to
GPS.
just be able
yeah.
to do GPS phone calls.
Yeah, but maybe
Yeah.
Hubble can give them the images, pictures.
I'm pretty sure Hubble must have escaped at this point.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
otherwise he would have just crashed into the. But we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
It's all speculative.
So yeah,
Also,
10 explains why why all of them have become conscious.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
Even
talks
though,
about.
well, it sounds pretty weird the explanation is not really scientific, if I can say so. Well, we can't really
No,
imagine
definitely
that probes are listening to us for millions of years and then suddenly become conscious.
It doesn't
Yeah.
really make any sense now. I mean, I know why they are using the satellites like this, because it's a great way to switch the focus to any part of the US, first of all,
Yeah, sure.
and to just include a character who knows nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Brand new to the whole world, right?
So to give like our perspective on this world.
Yeah,
If we
sure,
were
it's
suddenly dropped
convenient.
into this world, and we're able to just teleport left and right.
Yeah.
Right. It kind of that's just a snapshot of what everything is like now from an outside perspective.
Yep.
Then 10 mentions that if you leave even a simple computer in total isolation for 15,000 years, it'll gradually become a person. So do you think
Yeah.
if I left my cell phone in some drawer in the middle of nowhere for 15,000 years, that would happen? I don't really know
Maybe.
what the extent of this is.
So your cell phone is smarter than Pioneer 9 and 10.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's true.
So it should probably go sentient before
Yeah.
9 and 10 would.
You would think so, yeah. Because at least then it would make more sense that, all of this data could be collected by it, because my phone has enough space on it to store all sorts of stuff, but none of these probes, or at least the Pioneer
they
probes,
are able
didn't.
to turn 2 kilobytes into 5 exabytes.
Which is
Right.
odd.
I still don't understand how that would work, but I'm not going to nitpick it. It's just something you got to kind of accept, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just buy it and whatever.
I don't think we should take that all too seriously.
No. There's got to be
It's
some
really
sort of
useful
explanation.
lens, but
Yeah. And this is where we get introduced to...
Lunchables.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to say,
The big man.
people are immortal now, but I think Lunchables is more important.
So this was the first time I've ever heard of Lunchables.
Same.
Mm-hmm. I went out and bought one after I read this, actually.
Oh.
I have to keep them alive, right?
Yes. Well, actually, they don't sell them where I am. They've got another... It's the same idea. It's a different brand, but I got the cheese and crackers one, so that was good. It was $6.
Oh, it's basically the same thing.
Not as good as I remembered it being.
There was actually a video by Brutal Moose. Do you know about that guy?
I don't.
He generally does video game reviews, but he just does whatever these days, and that's fun. He reviewed a different kind of really horrible children's food.
Okay.
Kids
Oh,
cuisine.
Oh, yes, I've heard of kids
Like,
cuisine.
he literally put that video out yesterday. Oh, it looks horrible.
It's
Is
one of those
Lunchables good?
things- It wasn't bad. It was a lot better when I was in like 4th grade and I would have it on a field trip. But it came with a chocolate bar, so that was good.
Okay.
But the cheese it basically looks like a piece of round plastic. It's a little too shiny to actually be cheese, I think. I was a little scared to eat it, but I did. I did it. I'm probably not going to again, but...
Yeah, I was actually looking at that video and I was like, why are you eating this?
It doesn't even look tasty.
It looks so bad. Wait, why are people giving children this food?
What is going on? If you can call it food. Well, if you want me to mail you guys some, I can package some up and send them over. The crackers will probably be stale by the time it gets there.
I think so.
But
We
yeah,
have
so,
dead Lunchables in our mailbox.
ham,
Yes.
cheese, ham, cracker, ham, and cheese, cracker, ham, cheese. Okay,
It's
so
like Juice
here
is
we are.
singing.
Here we are introduced to how annoying Juice can be.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't care about
keeps
what they're
keeps
talking
going.
about.
Hansel at the
But the-
beginning, I didn't really like Juice. Like, he's always joking around where everyone's trying to speak about serious issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. So
But
at this
later-
point,
Yeah.
I knew I would eventually start to like Juice as his character would become more complex, and he does.
For sure.
At
Yeah,
this point,
sure.
At this point, I was just kind of. Well, I think I was laughing here because
Yeah, he kind of seemed like the comic relief character
Yeah.
a little bit at this point.
it's
But,
also useful because he kind of spaces out the important information
sure.
with some spam.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just able to read So you're able to read like on this day people stopped dying, and then there's basically just no new information for a few seconds.
Right, yeah, it kind of breaks it down a little bit. You've never eaten Lunchables.
Yeah.
So on April 7th, 2026, we find out that that's the day that people stop dying or being born and aging. And nobody knows why.
I would be 31 at that time. 32. So now I'm 31, yeah.
It's actually, April 7th is a couple days before my birthday. It'd be 27.
27,
Yeah.
well, pretty
I'll
young.
be, 9 years, so I'll be 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are young.
Yeah.
We do find out later that people kind of shifted to a kind of a median, like a middle
They're all
age.
going back to their
Yeah.
prime.
Almost.
Because it seems like they can change the age.
Yeah, that gets mentioned later on, because I know there was a lot of discussion about, what if you had a baby in 2026?
Yeah.
Is it just a baby forever? What if you're 92, right? Are you 92
Yeah.
forever? but it sounds like everyone kind of shifted towards that 30-something range.
Yeah, but it seems that babies grew old. No, they grew up, but didn't grow old.
Yeah.
Old. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at first I was kind of hoping that everyone would just remain the same age forever, because that would be interesting narratively. But that's just not the point of the webcomic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I this was another point where I kind of had to sit back and be like, did I read this originally on a sports website? I'm really confused right now
yeah, sure.
about what's going on. But it's, I really want to know why people just gave up trying to figure out with what happened, right?
I think they just didn't find anything, and at the end they just get bored of searching. It doesn't make any sense to search it anymore.
Yeah. I wonder if there's also kind of an element of, I think at first at least people would kind of be excited to learn that,
sure.
They're going to live forever, and they'd be kind of afraid of discovering that maybe that wasn't the case, so they didn't want to look too hard after a while. But you would think that after 15,000 years, someone would have kind of gone back to look at it. I'm sure there are people who do, but it would get boring after a while.
If you just don't make any breakthroughs. Yeah, what would you even research?
Yeah.
If you've already basically got the whole human genome and everything and figured everything out, what's left?
Yeah.
But I don't know if people would try to turn mortal again, because sure, that people that have a lot of things to do and they might not be bored, but I think that some people would want to just to die someday. I mean, they don't have anything to do anymore, so
yeah,
I think so too. There's a lot of movies that kind of, or one movie in specific that I remember that actually has Justin Timberlake in it, In Time, where there's some people who live like forever, and he meets one of them in the movie, and he basically says, your body lasts forever, right? But we weren't really meant to live for hundreds or thousands of years, right? Eventually you just kind of get tired.
Yeah.
And I can totally see that happening.
Yeah.
I hate to kind of take this narrative to a more depressing place like this, because it is such a, I don't know if positive is the right word, but it's not the kind of dystopian, sad future that we're so used to in sci-fi. But I think there's a lot of interesting discussion to be had about how people would cope with immortality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it isn't fully optimistic neither, because, 9 is often questioning 10 and Juice about, all this immortality. And I think that we can see in their dialogues that 9 is kind of melancholic. I don't know.
Yeah. Or unsure about how good all of this actually is.
Yeah, how they should feel about it.
Yeah. It's still weird to me to just kind of see, the like small town USA kind of thing in such a sci-fi setting, because it really isn't. But it's weird. But I like it.
Actually, we don't care much about these small towns.
It's right.
I'll think we'll go into more detail about how the technology didn't change in the intermission.
Yes, they talk about that a lot there. Should save some for that. Do we want to talk about the 8 million people on Earth thing? Even though that's been debunked, I guess.
8 billion.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, 10 constantly just misses digits.
Yeah,
basically.
Billions of people.
She just loses digits for some reason.
Yeah, actually I didn't notice it. So, I'm a mess with the numbers, but I didn't pay attention to the actual number. I didn't notice it
either until it was pointed out.
Yeah.
I mean, Juice didn't notice either.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Which really makes me think that it was like an editing typo. Like it wasn't intended to be like that. I think one of the staff that was editing this just missed it. I know that's kind of what people think happened now, but I'm still not 100%.
It might actually be, yeah.
I don't know. Because maybe Juice was just too focused on Lunchables to notice it.
That's true. Still thinking about the ham and cheese, right? It's important,
I mean, someone has also suggested that, just 8 billion people died, or
Yeah.
7 billion people died.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe they've
because-
died before the nanos stuff, because actually
Yeah.
we don't, at this point, we don't know that nanos exist yet.
It
No.
is never suggested that humans are actually immortal, just that they no
Yeah.
longer age.
Yeah, so you wonder how in the years between, again, like you said, we don't know about the nanos yet, but between 2026 and whenever that happened,
Yeah.
people probably still had car accidents or all sorts of things,
Yeah.
right? So was that still an issue that they had to worry about? But I find it unlikely that many people would die because of those issues in such a short span of time,
4,000
relatively.
years.
Yeah, sure, lots.
So 2,000 years till the nanos came out, right?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It might have been large scale wars and stuff. So
Yeah,
Well,
I know some people in the
There are no
Discord were
wars
talking
anymore,
about that kind of
so I
stuff.
don't think it was war, but
well, until then,
At some
Oh, yeah,
point,
okay.
how would people have? Because 2026 is it's only 9 years away, right?
yeah.
yeah.
And there's a lot of wars going on right now.
Yeah, I don't think they will be sold in 9 years.
Yeah,
I mean, less than ever, but
true. But you wonder how quickly did people kind of reach this state of just
Yeah.
watching football all day, and how long did it take us to solve everything?
I can imagine that it took about a few hundred years to just get rid of war.
Yeah, because politics is tough, and it's even tougher when people don't leave or die and get new ideas, right? Because if you're just around forever,
It's impossible to say, honestly. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
it's all speculation. We get such a small little snapshot of this kind of world to play off of, but I love trying to come up with some sort of explanation for how it would have worked. I do have a note here that just says ham puck, because that's at this point in the video.
I think the best thing about 70,776 is that you are basically allowed to just create your own version of this world in your
yeah.
head,
Yeah,
with where things have gone differently, or perhaps
sure.
not differently, but you can think of 4 solutions for everything, basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
sure.
maybe some people will be like, okay, it took them a few decades to get rid of all war and all disease, and then things just went well. Other people are like, yes, definitely 8 billion people died, and
Yeah.
it was a huge massacre, and both are completely valid ideas, but
Yeah,
neither really goes into what Jon Bois was really doing here, which is,
Right.
what will people do when they got infinite time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Which is
thinking
really the
about that
biggest
a lot. It's kind of scary to think about. What would you do if you had forever?
Honestly, I don't know.
Watch
I'd
all
make
of
a lot
One
more
Piece
podcasts,
and,
probably.
Yeah, sure, but at the end there will be nothing to do. Well, at some point there will be nothing
I'd
to
finally
do.
catch up on Star Trek.
No, I mean, there are so many TV series, so many films, so many books, so many albums, so many podcasts, so many webcomics, so many comics, so many...
It's all sorts of stuff, but it's...
Yeah, it's,
what do you do when you get through all of that?
yeah, it's a finite amount of things to do.
Are
When you
people
have
going to get
infinite
bored of
time.
making stuff?
I'd be able to... I don't think people would ever be bored of making stuff, honestly.
It's
Yeah.
it's such a long time scale. It's so
So
hard to...
No, that's
honestly,
true.
in that sense, I don't really buy Boy's idea that all people do is play sports all day.
Well, I
Yes.
think that's his window into it, right? Because he's a sports writer.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
works for a
definitely.
sports website,
Yeah.
so and I think that's kind of the frame that he's given us, because it's an American thing. It's something that people now can relate to, and
Yeah.
it's
He is
kinda,
also a very creative person. He
For
makes
sure.
this. Why would he? I mean, I don't know how much he reads this kind of stuff. I don't know if
Right.
he's read Homestuck or anything.
someone should tweet him and ask.
That would be nice.
But I think that's just kind of the frame that we have for the story, and there's
Yeah.
probably not other sports, all sorts of things by this point in this universe would have gone really crazy at some point, I think, and everyone would just keep coming up with new stuff, hockey or soccer or anything like that, right?
Well, in the same way, all the series focus on the United States, but at the end we know that all the other countries are fine, and we could just imagine what they're doing in the other countries. So we really just have a small snapshot of what's going on.
Definitely.
Yeah. And now that it's done, because at this point, like the last updates happen and everything, I've seen a lot of people talking about how that's kind of all this is, right? There wasn't necessarily a story to follow. It was just this is a couple days, this is how it goes, and that's all you get to see. You just got to figure everything else out and imagine it for yourself. I liked it though. It was really good.
Yeah, sure.
It was definitely very good. Yeah, it raised a lot of questions.
For sure. And there's going to be a lot more to talk about in the next couple chapters here. As we start to this video, we start to zoom in again on some... Has anyone found this house on Google Maps yet, do you think?
It's the house where the Durabos...
Yeah. The Durabos live, some family that the probes are familiar with. I don't think I want to have to comb through all of this rural America to try and find this house. I managed to find a couple things, but... That's probably too much for me.
The most important places were definitely the lawn and the weird empty spot in the middle of Iowa or whatever.
Yeah.
Washington,
yeah.
I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
Because people have to walk there. But
yeah, sure.
Right.
I'm getting ahead of myself again.
Yes, yeah. We've been doing that a lot, but I think it's, going back to this a second or a third time, you start to make a lot of connections with what happens later.
Yeah.
Things make more sense, but I'm still seeing all this Lunchables stuff.
Something I found pretty interesting, by the way. We have no idea how long Ten... okay, now I'm also getting ahead of myself, I guess, but how long Ten and Juice are awake at any given time.
Oh, yeah.
Because we find out at the end that 9 basically has to sleep for a few months and be awake for like 1 day. Assuming everything is honest.
Well,
yeah.
Which we'll get into at the end, seriously.
It's never stated that all this happened in 1 day, so...
Yeah, we don't really
maybe
have
a few days.
Any kind of time span for how long the whole thing took.
Well, we know how much distance Nancy covered in this time.
Yeah.
Right.
So we could probably use that as a reference.
We can do that math, and it's too early. It's 2 a.m. here. I don't want to do that math right now. We'll figure that out for next time.
I'll look into that at some point.
Yeah.
But my point was really, how well could they have gotten to know any specific family or group of people?
Well,
if they have to shut down every once in a while, or just with how many people there are. Do these people know they're being listened to? First of all?
Oh, maybe not. I don't think so.
Is it?
Some conversations are pretty personal.
Yeah.
Well, not this one, but later on, there are other conversations that really more with Eddie Krieger in the cave, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah, do all of these people know, like, we find out that humans are aware of the probes, but do the Durabos know that this conversation is being listened to at this moment? Is it a two-way thing, or is it just the probes spying on people?
We also don't know.
I think they're just spying.
Just watching.
Because we know that people listen to the probes.
Mm-hmm.
But can people listen to the conversations the probes are listening to?
Yeah. Or is it just them talking about it?
Because that would kind of ruin Eddie Krieger's hiding spot.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
But we don't really know how they can listen to this more personal conversation, because assuming that they can listen to the humans through radio waves.
Yeah.
For example, Eddie Krieger, he isn't emitting any radio waves in his cave, so...
How are they picking that up? Yeah.
Or even the Rebels, I don't think they're on radio, actually.
No. They're just sitting in their living room.
It's a bit fake, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But it's an interesting way to kind of peer into the universe, through the people that are living in it, to see what their day is like. And through all this time, Juice is still talking about Lunchables.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but at some point they're kind of almighty, and they almost have some powers we would that would be quite similar to God. And at the end they're talking about whether God exists or not. And
right.
I think that actually, as they are observers, as these probes are mostly like observers, they are kind of how can I say that?
Omniscience?
Well, they kind of have that parts of what we think God might do.
Right.
The part of
watch over us.
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty apt comparison, I guess.
Yeah, it's because we also find out later that they can talk to people because they make a phone call to someone at some point.
Yeah.
How weird would that be to get your phone call from a space probe? What would that show up as on your call display? But at this point, I guess they're just watching and observing people.
They're just living as well. Just living their lives.
Yeah.
Do we have any other comments on chapter 2 and chapter 3?
But that's the end of my notes. That's everything I had to say.
Lunch empowerment.
That's my last note, actually.
Rest in peace, Lunchables.
Oh,
I'm going to go get more Lunchables tomorrow, I think.
I don't know if you have seen, but there are people who wants to, as Juice isn't lunched yet, they want them to put the Lunchable in Juice.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
and they're
no.
like, yeah, if we make a petition or whatever, we might do it.
Oh man, I mean, maybe if there's someone that's involved in that project that has read this, we can convince them. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I do hope that some people go to see that launch because it's 2022.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, in the Caribbean, right? Or no, wait.
So it's
South America,
5 years.
somewhere, the northern part of South America, I think. So it is quite a trip to get there.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Although
So
I'm sure
would be funny.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's everything for chapter 2 and 3.
Thank you all for listening along. Be sure to go read the webcomic if you haven't yet.
You can check out the fan website.
Check out the Discord.
Yeah, it's all on 17776.
Just check everything out. It's all really great.
It is. And we'll be back for the next few chapters soon.
Yeah.
How do people even end these podcasts?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They just say goodbye, I think.